It's not like they're really going to go too crazy for us. But my goodness, Soniqs have an opportunity here to do maybe the biggest upset of the entire tournament so far. What do you make of them, though? What do they got to do to have a chance against NRG?
Well, it's for me, it's all about confidence because Soniqs have looked decent in this matchup before, and that's all. There it is. There's your answer. That's all you need to see from them.
Blow the whistle.
They're legit. Justin really took a long time to go for this. I don't know if he was expecting Roldes to fully commit to it because Roldes was significantly further away from the ball than Justin was. But with, backup of 2 players, of course you're going to keep going. Roldes is open to scoring in 3 seconds.
By the way, Johnny, after I talked about it yesterday, I actually started keeping count of the kickoff goals that we have commentated on so far. That is our 7th of the tournament.
Oh, wow.
We've seen a few.
Yeah, this was definitely a careless one from NRG. It was not necessary.
This would not be a kickoff goal.
That?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, the bounce is just the worst thing you could ever hope for as NRG fans. What was that? It hit the bar, bounced to the ground, and then it just went into the one position that NRG can't follow up on, right next to the back wall. And now here comes T. Corral. He had a phenomenal day yesterday in the dismantling of FaZe in the upper half of that knockout gauntlet. And he's actually done Justin again. Shock secures the goal. T. Corral's mind game set it up.
There is no... I'm sorry, I've got to see this again. Oh, that's so good. That is just completely faking out. Backflips to avoid it. And you know what the worst part about all of that is? He's not even giving the goal. If anything is going to sow disharmony in the Soniqs camp, that'll be it.
T. Corral is making huge plays. He's making the mechanical plays against FaZe. He's making very smart plays. There's a really smart play already. And the backflip does more than just fake out Justin. If Justin makes any contact with the ball at all, by backflipping, T. Corral's giving himself a decent chance of completely nullifying any touch Justin makes and neutralizing it anyway. Now Garrett G, double touch hits the post. Squishy's going to bring Justin into the play off the backboard. The Shock is there to block him out of it. It's not been the game that Justin was hoping for so far, with 2 defensive plays where he was in very awkward positions and wasn't able to come out on top. Yeah, for anyone who's writing off the Soniqs completely, you need to stop doing that. We've gone to Game 7 every time today, and Soniqs have given trouble to NRG. Not this time, though. Garrett just sneaks one by. That was pretty close to being saved. Not close enough. Garrett G open to scoring for NRG.
Yeah, one of the best times that you can just go straight down the middle of a shot because it's so difficult to hook that car back around off the backboard. And NRG right back into this. Saw an awful lot of the previous series, how momentum shifts so quickly in this game. And you've got a team like NRG. Yeah, tend to see more waves of it than any other team out there. Both good and bad. Roldes tries to get past the backboard. Nobody willing to really risk that on the rest of his team. Now out to T. Corral. Boomer of a shot. And an even better save from Garrett. To try and transition Justin to Garrett. What a play that is. Corral tried to at least get something there, but never really had a chance.
You can already see that the speed for Soniqs is definitely there. This is something that was mentioned. They've been playing very quickly in this tournament so far. They're going to need to because NRG are the fastest team in the region. T. Corral deflects Justin shot wide, and Squishy's just a bit too close to follow up with an immediate shot. That slight delay before the follow-up shot came through has given Soniqs time to recover. Hard clears coming through, and again, NRG are going to test them. Garrett G and Squishy waiting for the ball to bounce out. Soniqs are able to work well with it, though. They're hanging with NRG extremely well at the moment. They need to just keep an eye on their boost totals, because if NRG can get the strong boost advantage, it could just be defense simulator for Soniqs for like a solid minute.
Well, the good news for Soniqs is that we saw them do that already against FaZe. And whilst in the last series we saw incredible transitions, we're not going to get that quite as much from the Soniqs. Instead, they will tend to load up their box with as many defensive tools as possible and just hope that, we're going to stay here. We're going to wait for the chance for us to escape, for that to come to us, rather than trying to really work for ourselves. And as long as they can maintain that level of communication that we've got used to seeing from them, it could very well be a winning answer for them with only a minute and a half left in game number 1. T. Corral doesn't do a great job. Allow Justin just to quite freely take the ball off him. Again, no rush from the Soniqs. Send one player, let him do his job, and then wait to see what you've got to deal with after that player has done what he can. Garrett can be the passing option. He is at least found, and what quick reaction from the defense, but they've now got to do a little bit more work. Garrett can't get to it before T-Corral. It's a booming clear, and it is 3-1.
They've done it again. We saw this from Rolders yesterday, just sacrificing himself to allow the ball to roll on target, and he's really willing to do that, isn't he? Just puts himself in the way of Justin to slow Justin down. If there was ever a chance that Justin was going to make a heroic save there, Rolders is taking it away from him. I can't believe we see that exact same play 2 days in a row. A rarity in RL Esports.
Justin needs to try and find something for his team. This game's getting beyond NRG here. Doesn't look like Championship Sunday is going to calm down just yet. Garrett G takes a little bit too much time, and Rolders happy to take that one off him. Backboard unlikely to yield any results for NRG. Desperate to just get something for themselves. Double commit might have given them some available shooting angles, but right now, Soniqs are not putting a foot wrong.
Yeah, none of these shots are giving them trouble. This is just too good for Soniqs, and NRG are going to need to be a bit more creative. This is a chance now for Justin. Oh my goodness, it's not exactly what I had in mind when I said creative, but it is going to work. Justin has used his opponent as a pinball machine. T-Corral getting on the wrong side of that one. He's somehow triple touched it in, but Justin definitely has to get the praise there. You put T-Corral in a compromised position.
Well, A+ for teamwork, but nothing else beyond that for the Soniqs. Now got 20 incredibly tense seconds ahead of them. Garrett G on target, and Rolders just palms the ball away. Another one. Rolders and his teammate used. And it is good enough. Shock's going to buy as much time as he can. 0 boost for him. He won't care. He's just going to look to try and maul that ball as much as he possibly can. Garrett G over to Squishy. Justin in support, but he might have been called off. All the pitch to go here for Garrett G. Already up. 33 boosts left off the backboard. In comes Squishy. Drops it down. Looks for Justin. Shots off the backboard. And it is going to hit the floor. Oh my, oh my, oh my. We have got game one for the Soniqs. But that could not have been much more tense.
Oh, such a shame for NRG. They did phenomenally to keep the ball in the air, to keep their chances of overtime alive. But unfortunately, Justin was about 4 seasons too late for that one. I've seen him score those before, but not today. I don't know, was he playing? He might have been playing for a double touch, to be fair, to try and surprise the defender who was on the back wall. But in doing so, he's just sent it too far away from himself to catch up on. Soniqs got an early lead with a couple of forced mistakes, and then extended it with a really great play from Rolders. 2 days in a row, he sacrificed himself for the greater good. But NRG are so dangerous. I really don't want to see Soniqs overcommit to just sitting in defense. They look good while doing it, but it's so dangerous. They did it against FaZe yesterday, and it worked because FaZe only have 1 AJ. NRG have got 3 AJs. You can't just sit back in defense and expect to get away with it against these guys.
They've got 3 AJs, and they've got 1 super ultra AJ in the form of Justin. It's gonna be difficult for them. But so far, so good for the Soniqs. We'll say we are not doing normal goals today. I don't think we've seen many infield passes or backboard double taps really work out. It's usually just been how you can perform through the chaos. It was definitely Soniqs that had the answers. Justin booming clear. He's aiming for Squishy. And actually Squishy just putting the car over there. Almost managed to catch the Soniqs out. You wanted some more creativity from them, Johnny. This is looking like creativity.
Well, somehow they've done it again. This time it's Garrett G. He's forced an own goal. Really good catch, but I expected more of a resistance at the near post there. Garrett did get the last touch, so no OG here, but I thought there would have surely been someone in between the goal and the ball there. Garrett G surprising them by going low in a position where the back wall was being defended.
Gets the ball at least over to Squishy again. T-Corral takes the ball under his own control. Wanted to at least try and bait in for a corner challenge. Didn't happen, but still got rid of Justin. We'll stay downfield here and at least be a little bit more of a threat. Squishy to himself over the top of Shock. Looks to get past T-Corral, and that challenge needed to go his way. Corell at least keeps his team out of danger, but it might only be momentary. Here comes Justin, and Shock will consider himself very lucky to avoid being hit.
He did well, Shock. That was about all you can ask from him there when he doesn't have a lot of boost to work with and Justin's air dribbling towards him. Still, looking like a pretty good matchup for Soniqs. NRG have taken control here. Soniqs need to switch it up. They need to try and force something. I really don't expect to see any huge mistakes from NRG. Never mind. I guess every time I say a confident statement, it's going to be immediately corrected today, Shogun.
I'm so glad you haven't been on the desk today.
What is happening? NRG in shambles.
Do not let Johnny on the desk, okay? It's just going to all become calamity. Squishy giving the ball back over to Corell. Yeah, we need non-committal statements from you today, Johnny.
I'm sorry, NRG.
This team is doing fine.
Yeah, NRG
what a
never
shot!
Mind. What was that, Shogun? How are they doing? How are NRG
I'll tell you what, that shot was more than just fine, mate. That shot was amazing.
That's a great strike from Shock. Squishy's a bit flat-tired on the goal line, but he was on the receiving end of some offensive pressure. So it's not like it was an unforced mistake by any stretch of the imagination. I promise NRG fans, I'm not going to say that anything to that extent. Like Shogun said, we're going to keep it a bit more.
This is
going to tone down the compliments, okay?
Objective commentary.
It's happening far too often. It's getting a bit unusual.
I don't believe in the caster curse sort of stuff, but there's some sort of days where you start to realize that maybe there are forces we shouldn't mess with.
When you see multiple minutes of solid play, and then you think you better talk about that, and immediately several complete whiffs on the ball from NRG. But it's still a tie game here. This should be more than fine for them. They've got all the experience in the world. They're the most experienced team at this level. Soniqs still extremely new, but especially with this particular roster. And NRG, you know, they're fine. They don't obviously their playstyle is mainly offense, but they don't mind defending. They should be okay here. How's that? Is that
yeah, you know what? We'll give it 5 seconds.
They should be okay. That's about as low key of a compliment I can give them.
That worked. Now Shock 2v1 against Justin! Bottom corner! What a game! And jokes aside here, Johnny, this, for the Sonic, was unlikely at best. NRG would consider themselves from a goal up, half the game left to play, to be very much in a position to be taking the win.
Oh, that was just unreal from Shock. It didn't look like he had any run-up on the ball at all, but he still managed to generate so much power with the side flip. And now, here comes Shock again. He's just missed the internet save, but had that shot been on target, he would have saved this. And it's only the crossbar keeping it away from being a wonder play in defense from the guy who just put Soniqs in front. He's been one of the dark horses of the whole season. Oh, that's open! Squished, he's equalized. Where was the third man?
All right, we've got Shock over on this side. Corell's joining him. Do we need to get... okay, do we need to get Roldiz's face onto like a milk carton or something? Where on earth did he go?
We need to get Roldiz a map. He's going for a boost in midfield while his team are about to get dunked on. I don't know what that was about. We did see this a couple times from Soniqs yesterday. Massive overextensions after they lose kickoffs. So this time not on a kickoff, but in the middle of the game. Extremely strange game too. But if you told Soniqs today you're going to win game one and you're going to be tied up with NRG with a minute to go in the second game, they would have taken it. They got to just forget about exactly the circumstances of that last goal. I'm sure they will. Roldiz is their hype man. If anyone's going to... You want anyone to make a misplay for Soniqs, it would be him. He's going to pick everybody back up. And here comes Squishy again. No support at the back post. Corell's first to the ball.
And that's a good clear. Roldiz looks to follow off the backboard. Squishy should get a power clear, and he does exactly that. Garrett calls Squishy off. Looks for the follow. Can't quite get it. Squishy now moves in. Garrett can't get it over to Justin. Shock's first time hit. This puts a little bit of pressure here on NRG. Final 15 seconds. It's Corell looking to try and create. Back out. It goes over to Roldiz. Gets the shot. It's going to be off target. But the Soniqs are going to start believing more and more about this one. Justin, be very thankful that Shock wasn't a little bit further forward. Overtime on the board, and a chance for the Soniqs to go 2-0 up.
This is a good kickoff for them. NRG have got the ball, but there's really not a lot going on here for Squishy. Can he make something happen? He goes for a bump on the back wall. It's about all he was able to do in that position. So it's well played, but like I said, Soniqs are going to be okay with that because they had boost under control before NRG came to attack them. Now Shock in the back post. He's done it. Shock has done exactly as his name would suggest to NRG, who are down by 2. Back post approach catches NRG off guard, and they are trailing by 2 games.
Ladies and gentlemen, Shock was your Season 9 NA MVP. You might have forgot, but I tell you what, he's happy to remind you right now. What a performance! And Johnny, what a Sunday we are having right now. NRG are up against it. A reminder that they will have a timeout available for them, and they've elected to take it.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. That makes a lot of sense because they had this one. NRG were in control, and I think it merited a compliment, which we gave them. We said they look fantastic. They look comfortable here. And then they just started missing the ball. And we have unfortunately seen this from NRG a few occasions this season, where everything is going well, the series is fully in their control, they look dominant, and this, I mean, they lost game 1 here, but they did get the closing goal, they opened the scoring in game 2, it looked like they'd gotten onto winning ways, and then they just couldn't make contact. They were all flopping all over the place. It didn't look comfortable for them, and that is something that I thought they'd gotten past. You know, they're number 1 in RLCS points for a reason. They might have started off their season inconsistently. Right now, they seem to be the team to beat, or at least one of them.
Johnny, I want you to imagine this world at the moment. We might be in a world where Space Station Gaming, Envy, and NRG are all not even in the semi-finals.
Wow. That doesn't make any sense.
I would love to see if anyone managed to predict this bracket at the start of the tournament. If you got this, you're a liar, number 1. I don't believe you. But Shock.
Oh, look at that.
Outstanding performance. And I tell you what, the Soniqs. This is what we were so excited about. Back in season number 9, this team started that season so well. And it all fell apart for them. You know, and we didn't see them really get back to that level. But for Shock, this is a moment of redemption because which team put them from that upper bracket to the lower bracket and saw Soniqs' momentum completely leave them? It was NRG, a 4-0 sweep. This could be the ultimate revenge.
Yeah, they're a legitimate threat. Anyone who didn't believe the analyst desks, you know, talking up Soniqs, they've got to believe now because Soniqs have been brilliant. And, you know, 1 or 2 moments of where the concentration has gone out the window. Talking about Rolda's playing for a mid-boost battle while he needs to be defending. But like we said, it's the best player for that to happen to. He's the guy who's picking them up when things go wrong and when they're losing goals. And now it's up to NRG. Has this speech from Sizz done enough to bring them out of the gutter here? I'm really curious actually to what he would have told them. You know, for me, it has to just be something related to communication issues or just confidence in general. It's mental for NRG. It's got to be a mental thing. There's no way that strategically or mechanically they're ever going to have an issue.
Johnny, I love that you're trying to make sense of all of this, lad. I'm just reveling in the chaos. This has been such a fun day. And we are going to march on. Garrett G looks to try and put Sizz's words to work. He couldn't quite get past the final player. Squishy with Justin and Garrett in support, but neither of them matter. T. Corral intercepts. And it is going to be the Soniqs breaking away.
Yeah, that does sound like Sizz advice right there. The game started off with a double fake goal from Garrett G. More fakes. You know, Sizz was he made a career on faking, so that's something we could see from NRG. Fake aerials in particular, not something you expect to see from them, so definitely subvert the expectations of Soniqs going into this third game.
Got one to work in the last game. They sent, I think it was Squishy up to the air, and it was a last-second reaction save that kept the ball from going into the Soniqs net. Here's Justin off the back foot. Oh, no way! Justin has just reminded everybody on the field exactly who he is.
What? That is truly unbelievable from Justin. The angle in and of itself is outstanding, but to get that much power on the shot as well, just unbelievable. Looks like, if nothing else, tactical timeout has done something. Did Justin forget to turn his monitor on up until this point? I mean, with the elevation we just saw from him, it might be an argument. It might be a conspiracy theory being pushed by the NRG stands. Let's see, can they run with it this time? They lost their lead in the last game. You know Soniqs are going to bring it to them. No shock at the back post this time for NRG to worry about.
The server is now on notice. NRG will always have their talisman, Justin. An outstanding goal. Now looks to try and take over. Shock takes his time, avoids being demoed as well, but the ball almost dropped down to Garrow. Well played by Roldiz. Roldiz is just having such a performance for himself this weekend. I don't think even in the wildest dreams of the Soniqs they would expect themselves to get this far. Roldiz has more than played his part. Now takes over to the backboard, over to Shock.
Oh, wow.
It's T-Corral, but he's out of position. It's a miss, though, from Squishy. Oh, it might have actually been caught off by Justin. Looks more likely to have been the latter. Shot, top corner,
Lovely.
no chance.
And look at the technique for Garrett G on this shot. That is perfectly done. You know, you think you'd have to dodge into the ball to get these, but look at that. Just a double jump, but perfectly connected as he fully forces his car through the center of the ball and finds the top corner, which welcomed his shot warmly. Now, NRG 2 goals up. Surely now they can just run with this one. Make it 3. Squishy's first to the pass. And this is what we were expecting to see from NRG in the last game when they took control of the series. Well, this is a chance for them to just properly do it this time. No defensive mistakes, no whiffs, no fakes, whatever you want to call them. Just get the job done.
And if you ever wanted a good argument as to why we have implemented these timeouts, this match will certainly be one to show for it. NRG dominating after a quick pep talk from Sizz. Roldiz. Look to Justin one more time. T-Corral doesn't want Squishy to receive an infield pass. Look to demo him. Might not matter either way. Squishy still gets to it. Soniqs aren't going to make a comeback here. They need to start scoring, and they need to start scoring very soon. T-Corral up against Justin's shot. Is going to at least be equal to it for now. Go with the Shock. Clear to T-Corral. Has to go for net. And he almost found it.
What a shot from T-Corral. I mean, really, the third man didn't expect that one to be on target as quickly as it was, but luckily for NRG, the crossbars had them covered. A couple of people probably thinking I was throwing some shade at Justin for the monitor comment, but really, I just think Justin's good enough to play without a monitor and still be competitive at this level. It's only when he turns it on that he starts to be in a world of his own, but all of NRG stepping up huge in this third game. It's been a full team effort, and it's been, I think, just a very confident display from them, which is what you want to see from NRG. If they are going to go down, if they're going to go to Game 7, as we very much expect today, you'd want to see them doing it in style and see the step-up performance from Soniqs.
I think for a lot of fans, especially, you know, those coming into the scene, it's sort of anyone that has seen what Justin did at the BTS Summer Shuffle know that Justin has another level to himself.
Yeah.
That there is something in there that makes Justin unplayable by any standard. If those of you that haven't seen it, I highly recommend just go and take a look at what he did on that final day. And it is, you know, almost a bit of a curse for him to have had that performance as well, because we will always know that's there, and we'll kind of compare him against it.
I think that's why Justin is such a good player. He compares himself constantly to the best version of himself as a player, and whenever he shows up and he doesn't have, you know, a slump or why people sad in his name or just a, you know, sad emoji, you know that he's going to mean business, and he's not allowed to go into RLCS with any of those things. Kind of I think it's probably a bonus for him. Does that inspire confidence in him when he has to just be Justin? Because, you know, when he shows up as Justin in a ranked game, you know you're in big trouble.
That's the abort before the game's even started sort of thing. T-Corral coming towards the backboard. Soniqs have had no answer to anything here in Game 3. And that is going to see their series lead cut in half. NRG showing off their muscle here in this game, looking to maybe get one for the road, but the ball won't quite make it over the line in time. And for the Soniqs, another game like that, and you've got to imagine that the timeout will be used.
Yeah, for now, they shouldn't really be too worried. NRG have been inconsistent in the series overall, so we've seen one great game from them. They were dominant in territory, dominant in possession, pressure, and resulted in a very comfortable win. But if NRG, we'll have to find out if NRG can keep that up. I think they can. They've shown themselves to be a much more solid team as the season has progressed. This turnaround should be sufficient for them to move onwards and upwards with. But like we've said, every series has gone to Game 7 today. Sonics just need to get one of the next 3 games to make sure that it does. I think they're going to do it. I expect another Game 7 here.
I appreciate that we got to see a bunch of goals during those replays, but I just really wanted to see Justin's goal about 7, 8 times in a row. That was something else, honestly. I mean, that's up there. I think Beast Mode got something a little similar earlier on. I think that was actually a self-set, the backboard double tap that he managed to do. So, yeah, no angle is too difficult for players up at this level. So we're heading into game number 4, 2-1 advantage for the Sonics. But that last game will have put some fear into them. Let's see what Utopia Coliseum has in store for us. Sonics will want to at least get some momentum back and do it quickly.
They've got to just do exactly what they did at the end of the last game, and that's stop NRG from scoring, because the longer NRG go without scoring, the more they're going to question themselves. Look at that, just kind of a ghost touch there. Roldes just glances the ball forwards. But, you know, Sonics, their speed and defense has held them in this matchup, and it's prevented NRG from dominating as often as they would have liked to, and outpacing as often as they're used to. So that's really, for me, what Sonics need to do. They just got to keep control of those back corner boosts, play as efficiently as possible, and just prevent NRG from scoring. Frustrate them. That's definitely what the plan is this stage in the series.
Good reaction there from T-Corel after the demo came in. To make sure that he was on his toes and ready for it. Squishy to the corner. Really in a position for anybody to shoot from on his team, so you're not going to see anybody commit just yet. Roldes plays interference. Might not be enough. Needed to hook back around to get one more block as both teams jostling for those 100 boosts in the corner. All of those for NRG, and it's big trouble for the Sonics. Justin gets a second block. Squishy moves on in. Roldes again, so quick. Just phenomenal predicting where the play actually is for the opposing team. Now moves in, looking for the double tap, doesn't quite get it. And NRG were left exposed, at least for a brief moment.
Yeah, crucial interception by Squishy. Roldes, his shot was being covered by the goalkeeper, but you got to also cover the miss because there's going to be follow-up players coming in to collect that ball. It's more interceptions coming through for Sonics in defense. That's something they've done very well here. Whenever NRG are beating into the ball, they're blocking well. What a deflection to Corel. After the ball's bounced off his own back wall, deflects it into the corner safely. Completely deadlocked here in this game. NRG have had a slight advantage with their posturing. Sonics only too bothered by that for now.
No, and we've already seen throughout this tournament that Sonics, it just takes one hit from their own side of the field, and we scored more coast-to-coast goals than anyone else. Here's Roldes, taps the ball on, and Justin, bicycle kick to get rid of it. Corel's at least going to try and put the pressure on still. Now it looks like it's opportunity gone. Very difficult to break NRG down once they got all 3 back. Didn't even need to have to worry about it. Squishy's got rid of it. Shock, just making sure that Justin can't take it too easily. Yes, that exact situation is what NRG need to be aware of. Sonics happy to get their chances. They'll happy to give up 5 chances for NRG if they get their one quality one.
Got to give Justin credit for the defense on that long shot that was coming in towards him, which Roldes decided to knock on target with a little bit more pace. Oh, what a dunk. Roldes has pulled out something quite special here to break the deadlock in game number 4, sorry. Garrett G trying to play it under him, gets denied. It goes in the bottom corner, Sonics lead.
And only a minute and 40 left on the clock for it as well. Just how quickly this can turn into panic for NRG. And if they lose this, they're up against 3 match points with no timeouts to use.
Yeah, I think
have
at that
to
point,
get something going.
You just commit to never using your timeout if you're Sonics in that position. Things are
Maybe
going pretty
game
well
7?
right now.
Like,
yeah,
if you go to that point,
maybe,
but
true.
outside of that, not a chance.
Roldis has options here. T-Corral's waiting for him, but the pass is a bit too high. Justin deflects it down the line after leading it into the corner, but Roldis just staying on the ball as he recovers. That's taking all the pressure off the goalie. But here's Justin, and he takes it early, takes it well. NRG are back in it.
3 players went for this one, but only one of them were Justin. And that was all they needed. 1-1, and NRG get the job done nice and quick. We are back to an even game, and we are back with all to play for. Reminder, it's either 3 match points or a tied-up series. This game means so much to both teams.
And Sonics are way down there in the RLCS standings. They need a win here if they're going to rise up the rankings today. Here comes Justin again. T-Corral does so well to knock that one into the corner. Justin has been on fire in this game. T-Corral's been out of boost for a lot of this game. Squishy getting bumped. Roldis, a very key knock onto Squishy there after the ball went past him. He's going to continue. Roldis actually just made an entire run around NRG's half, looking for anyone and everyone he can. Now he's going back for round 2. He's just doing laps, giving T-Corral space. T-Corral fakes one, brings Roldis into the play. Shock's committed as well. Garrett G might have a chance to counter, but he's got no angle to work with here. And he's forced wide. There was no way that he could take a shot that would have any chance of going past T-Corral.
Yeah, no angle, no boost, but maybe Shock's gonna have a chance. Double tap looks for the backboard. Didn't quite happen. NRG with Justin with 100 boost as well. Waits for his opportunity. Infield pass over to Garrett. They didn't have anyone on the far side. Overtime is up. Which team is going to be able to take it?
Completely even game 4. NRG were the dominant force in game 3, but Sonics have stepped it up again. And now they've got a chance to go on triple match point. Roll this to T-Corral down the left-hand line. T-Corral's going to steal the boost and then go for the center ball. It bounces off Justin and into the middle. Squishy first on the scene.
Shock takes his time, knows he's going to get challenged at some point. He at least managed to force Garrett to double take off the backboard. Roll this, sets up, in comes Shock! 3 match points! And Championship Sunday continues to deliver.
Shock with the dunk, Roldis with the assist, and then Shock with the finish. T-Corral will be delighted to watch his teammates putting on a display as they completely just take NRG apart. Piece by piece there was one player out the game with a 50-50, the second one with the double touch center, and Justin's position was compromised with the accuracy off that center ball. Unreal from Roldis. What a guy, coming in late in the season from coach to now carrying RLCS games against NRG. That's just an unbelievable story, and it fits quite well with the this being the weekend where Rizzo's retired and keeps on playing. I mean, this might be a strategy for more RLCS teams if it keeps working out. Just like get your players to retire.
5-burner?
Yeah, just more.
5-1 is.
GT are going to sign up Rizzo again just to get him to retire again without success there again. And Rolda is going to get benched to be a full-time coach just so they can bring him in again. Like these storylines are just they're unbelievable. This shouldn't be happening. 3-1. NRG on the ropes.
I thought we were done with these sort of storylines after Turbo back in Season 4. I thought, it's done now, we're beyond that, and we've got ourselves to RLCS Season X, and we are still right at it. NRG need to win 3 in a row against the most informed Sonics team we have had this entire tournament. Oh, goodness. Johnny, I mean, what do you do? What is NRG's play here? Do they just keep going with what they've got? Do they have to change anything? What's going on?
I think for NRG, they've just got to trust in their experience here because as you know, and as everybody watching will know, the hardest game now for Sonics to get a win in isn't going to be any of the ones they've already got. It's going to be the one they don't have at the moment. They really are going to need to play their best Rocket League of all time if they're going to get the winning game against NRG. That being said, NRG, they don't look like they've got a huge mechanical advantage, which is strange because usually when you put them up against anyone who's not Rogue, they're faster and they've just got chances based on that. Game 3 really did look like the mechanics and the speed was starting to become a problem for Sonics, but they weren't fazed by that. They've just stepped it up and now they're actually putting the pressure on NRG. Rolled this, rattles the post early on. Squishy now on the counter attack. Have Soniqs overextended. Garrett's lack of boost has led to shove target, but in. Off Shock's touch. Unfortunate for Soniqs. Garrett G, credit to him, he just did enough. Put the ball close enough to the goal that it merited a pre-jump.
And well played to Garrett just to scramble over to it. Don't think Squishy's pass was the best over to him, but he made it the most he could. Off the backboard, Shock, he's caught out a little bit. Managed to at least flip over to the side, keep it away. NRG want that second goal, they should get it. Shock cleans up. And it was quite the mess that he did need to clean up. Now looks to try and create. Play to the Soniqs as well. I mean, that game after the timeout, very much the most one-sided series that we have had. Didn't seem to affect them. Now they need the same sort of mentality to get back here into this game number 5. T. Corral, not too much sizzle on that shot. Oh, bump on Squishy, here comes Roldiz!
Okay. What? The bumps from Soniqs are just something else. Shock to completely take Squishy out of the game. Squishy was just trying to stay with the ball there, deny any direct shots on target. Well, you can't do that if you get bumped from the side. And it seems like Soniqs have just got the perfect answer every time. NRG try and just settle into this series and relax, take control, rely on their experience. Soniqs have stepped up every single time, and I'm just so amazed by this performance. This is so impressive to see. Such a new team playing together this well. NRG have played well this series. They've played, I think, a very good series. Soniqs have just been better.
Need to be better for at least 2.5 more minutes. Roldiz, again, perceptive enough to see the opportunity coming in for NRG. Now he's going to be passed to. Not too much height, so Garrett can catch it on the half volley. Squishy outpaces Shock. Shock outthinks Squishy. Over to Roldiz.
Oh my.
These dunks are massive. And no! It's out of nowhere. T. Corral gives his team the lead. Is that enough to send the Soniqs through?
Oh my goodness. Justin gets boost starved at the worst possible moment. An uncontested shot just bounces into the far left side of the goal. And this is just truly unbelievable. For all the series, we expected not to go to Game 7 today. This would have been it, but with NRG winning, they're losing. And they're losing this series badly because of how well Soniqs have played. NRG still have time, but they need more than their experience right now. They need their clutch factor as well. Is it going to show up in the next 1 minute and 45 seconds?
Shock downfield, still waiting for boost. So that means T. Corral's a little bit by himself at the moment, but it's over the top of Justin. And another block. There is no fear on the Soniqs. Who cares about recovery? Send the car. Make sure you get something in the way. Doesn't matter if it's a shot on target, if it's a simple clear. All of it is just as prioritized. Shock will turn. He's up against Justin on the challenge. Corral wants to get rid of Justin one more time, but that just drops down to Roldiz.
Just another minute and 12 seconds for Soniqs to hold on, but holding on is not what they're doing now. They're actually pressing for another goal. They know better than to sit in defense and let NRG come at them. They need threats, and there's one! T. Corral just drops in a third goal. Justin was there, but he wasn't able to get a touch on it, and this time it wasn't a boost problem. He has just missed. NRG are crumbling under the pressure.
I'm shocked. There's no other way of putting this at the moment. NRG are very much up against it. Garrett's going to try and hook around off the backboard. In comes Justin, and T. Corral keeps it away one more time. Squishy tries to keep the play alive. That clock is now the worst enemy of NRG. They've maybe got a second biggest enemy right now. That is Shock. Revenge would taste oh so sweet, and he's 40 seconds away from it.
And Soniqs have done well here. Game 2, Game 5, NRG have made just 1 or 2 mistakes that have given them more of an issue in this matchup than they should have had. But even without those mistakes, I think Soniqs have been a legitimate threat today to anybody. There's really no shame in losing this, given the run that Soniqs are on. It's not over just yet. NRG need possession if they're going to keep their hopes alive.
Garrett G looks to try and create the opportunity. T. Corral looks to get to him. Good block. It's a little bit more time off the clock. Shock.
No way.
Just gets over there one more time. And
That's
with
game.
that, the Sonics book their spot in the semi-finals. They have done it. And NRG are out.
Wow. They didn't just do it. They did it in style. Sonics are on form. Just look at the reactions now. They can't believe it. Well, they better believe it because they're in the semifinals. You're going to be playing later on today, boys, in the next
Johnny,
round.
Look what this means.
Wow.
Either KCP or the Sonics are in the grand finals.
That's unbelievable. I mean, if anybody managed to predict this bracket correctly, I don't know what on earth you were thinking, first of all, making these predictions, but
it doesn't exist. There's not a bracket out there outside of the one that is official that looks like this one. We were talking in the previous series, sort of to deviate away from what we just saw. Oh my goodness, Sonics, incredible. But I want to go back to KCP real quick, because we said in the last series, all pressure was on them. Now it switches, because KCP are going to take on the Sonics for a chance to get into the finals, whilst G2, the team that KCP are trying to catch up to, have got to beat Rogue to maintain their advantage.
Wow. I mean, it kind of feels like we've had the redemption story for KCP. Yes, we've seen Rogue's continued rise to the very top of NA, but the fact that G2 and Sonics are here, it feels scripted. Rizzo
it's
taking
ridiculous.
a one little pit stop on the way to the retirement home, winning a regional, perhaps Sonics as well, getting Roldes off out of the coaching role and into real play where he has played so well.
I mean, he should not. He's got to stay, surely. After a performance like this, you've got to keep him.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, Sonics they're an extremely good team. This is a huge performance from them. NRG will go and I'm sure learn from this. Maybe they underestimated them, but I think overall, NRG played pretty well today. Sonics were just too good.
Right, well, I don't have to tell you not to go anywhere. You would know better than to go anywhere right now. We have no idea who is going to win this regional, but when we come back, we're going to get one step closer to finding out. It's our first semi-final as Rogue take on G2.